Hi there, get ready to embark on an incredible journey through time as we uncover the fascinating story of Pompeii and the other cities that were buried by the catastrophic eruption of Mount Vesuvius in 79 CE. This is a tale of tragedy, rediscovery, and the birth of modern archaeology that will leave you awestruck and amazed. Imagine strolling through the streets of an ancient Roman city, with its well-preserved houses, shops, and even the haunting remains of its inhabitants frozen in time. That's exactly what you can experience in Pompeii today. But for centuries, this once thriving city and its neighboring towns lay hidden beneath thick layers of volcanic ash and rock, waiting to be rediscovered and brought back to life. It might come as a surprise to learn that Pompeii wasn't completely lost and forgotten in the aftermath of the eruption. There's compelling evidence of rescue attempts in the days following the disaster, and some parts of the city, like the Forum Colonnade, remained visible above the debris. But as time marched on, the city was gradually abandoned, and its memory faded into legend. That is, until the 18th century, when a series of chance discoveries reignited interest in this long-lost world. The first archaeologist to stumble upon the ruins of Pompeii was actually an architect named Domenico Fontana. While digging a canal in the late 16th century, he accidentally unearthed a treasure trove of ancient wall paintings, inscriptions, and architectural fragments. But despite the growing interest in antiquity at the time, no one followed up on these tantalizing discoveries for over a century. It wasn't until the 1700s that large-scale excavations began in earnest, driven by the desire to collect and showcase ancient art. The King of Naples commissioned a survey of the area, and in 1738, military engineer Joaquin de Alcubierre started tunneling through the hardened volcanic material. It was dangerous and grueling work, with the constant threat of tunnel collapse and exposure to toxic gases. But the rewards were nothing short of spectacular. As they dug deeper, they uncovered stunning wall paintings, life-size sculptures, and even precious papyrus scrolls from the Villa of the Papyri. Many of these priceless treasures ended up adorning the king's palace, as archaeology at the time was more about treasure hunting than careful research and documentation. But things started to change when Swiss engineer Carl Jacob Weber took over the excavation of Herculaneum in 1750. He introduced more methodical and cautious practices, such as recording the exact locations of important objects and creating detailed plans of the architectural remains. These groundbreaking techniques laid the foundation for modern archaeology as we know it today. Meanwhile, the emerging field of art history was also captivated by the discoveries from Pompeii and Herculaneum. Scholars like Johann Joachim Winckelmann were fascinated by the wealth of classical art and architecture being unearthed. Winckelmann's vivid reports and descriptions fueled a growing interest in classical antiquity across Europe, and the Grand Tour brought travelers from far and wide to witness the marvels of these ancient cities firsthand. However, access to the sites was tightly controlled by the kings of Naples, who jealously guarded the most beautiful artifacts for their private collections. They even went so far as to pass laws banning the export of antiquities. It wasn't until the arrival of Francesco La Vega as director of excavations in 1780 that conservation and preservation became a priority. La Vega oversaw the removal of valuable artifacts to the newly established Naples Museum and grappled with the challenge of preserving the rare and delicate wall paintings while keeping the site open for curious visitors. But leaving the paintings and buildings exposed to the elements and the hands of treasure-seeking tourists inevitably led to deterioration over time. The man who truly transformed Pompeii and ushered in a new era of archaeology was Giuseppe Fiorelli, who became superintendent in 1863. With meticulous care and attention to detail, he divided the city into 9 distinct regions, created a comprehensive system of addresses, and opened the site to visitors from all corners of the globe. He even introduced the first entrance fee, recognizing the value and significance of this extraordinary archaeological wonder. Fiorelli is perhaps best known for his innovative use of plaster casting techniques to preserve the ephemeral traces of life in Pompeii. By pouring plaster into the voids left by decomposed organic materials, he was able to capture the forms of wooden doors, furniture, and even the poignant figures of the eruption's victims. His casts of human remains, including men, women, children, and even a beloved pet dog, serve as a haunting reminder of the lives cut short by this ancient tragedy. As the 19th century drew to a close, Pompeii became an international endeavor, attracting scholars and experts from Britain, Germany, and beyond. They studied everything from inscriptions and city plans to the intricate styles of wall paintings. The late 1800s also saw the excavation and restoration of some of Pompeii's most spectacular residences, such as the opulent House of the Vetii and the elegantly preserved House of the Silver Wedding. The 20th century brought further discoveries and advancements, but also interruptions and setbacks. The outbreak of World Wars I and II halted work at Pompeii, and in 1943, a devastating bombing raid by Allied forces destroyed some of the precious artifacts housed in the on-site museum. Despite these challenges, dedicated archaeologists like Amedeo Maiuri persevered, expanding the excavations and uncovering more of the city's rich history and hidden secrets. Today, thanks to the tireless efforts and unwavering dedication of countless archaeologists, historians, and researchers over the last 3 centuries, we have the incredible privilege of walking the streets of Pompeii and Herculaneum once again. We can marvel at the extraordinary preservation of these ancient cities, with their vibrant frescoes, intricate mosaics, and intimate glimpses into the daily lives of the people who once called them home. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content.